I want to tell you that as, if you're a business owner, this is something you should be thinking about. And we're going to talk about this in a few weeks, and one of our members is doing something about this. But how do I, even in my workplace, begin to create a culture in which we're being generous towards people outside of our walls? This is what we try to do as a church, and constantly inviting you to be a part of doing something to change the world, to be compassionate, generous, sacrificial, selfless in how we live our lives. And you do that so well. I am so proud of you and the way that you do that. But as we look at this, I was thinking about one example of this. I've been meaning to share this little video clip with you, but during COVID, actually before COVID, I think we had ordered a mobile food pantry and had it outfitted for us. We've got refrigerator cases and freezer cases and shelving. And the thought was, here in Kansas City, there are food deserts where you can't walk to a place where you can get access to dairy, fresh dairy, eggs, meat, where you might not find fresh fruits and vegetables. There might be a corner store that's selling cigarettes and alcohol and maybe some essentials, but you're going to miss out on these essentials to a healthy diet. And so as we began to study that, our Hunger Stoppers team said, if we could have a mobile food pantry where we could take things into these communities, that could make a big difference. And so you paid for, in a Christmas Eve offering, you purchased this mobile grocery store in essence. And it's been going out, I think it goes out 5 days a week into various communities in Kansas City. And I finally had a chance to go the other day. I said, I really want to go. And they'd been saying, hey, when can you come? And finally there was a Saturday morning I could go. And so I had a chance to go to Kansas City, Kansas. And we work with a local church there at this particular spot. But I wanted just to see what you have made possible. Take a look. Can I just tell you what a blessing it was to have a chance to be there that day? And there were only 2 of us there I think there were 12 or 13 volunteers, and 2 of us who were staff. It's run almost entirely by volunteers. They load up the foodmobile, they drive it out to these locations, they check people in, we keep track of who's coming and where they're coming from and how many people are in their family. There's a list of what they can shop for, and so you go in with them and you help them shop, and then you bag things up, and then you take them to their car, and in the process, have a chance to connect and visit with the folks who are there, and it was just really cool. And what was really cool about that was to know that while we were doing this thing, and I'm guessing most people, maybe like me, I was like, man, I got a million other things I could do on Saturday morning, and like you, Saturdays are my day off, so I'm going to go do this. And there's a little bit of me is like, do I really want to do this? Yes, I know I need to do it. And then you go there and you come away going, thank you, God, I got to go there today. And part of what I see there is I see what James is talking about. Pure religion and undefiled before God is to care for the widows and the orphans. The people are hungry and thirsty, right? And remember last week when we learned about faith without works is dead, and James says, if you see somebody who's hungry or thirsty and you say, oh, go in peace, be well fed, and I'm going to pray for you, and you do nothing about it, you've missed it. And what I want you to know is that the foodmobile is in need of additional volunteers. I mean, almost everything we do here, we need people who are going to say, I'll help. We need drivers to be able to drive the foodmobile. We need people who are going to help load it up and stock it. We need people who are going to be there and minister to and connect with the people that are coming for food. We ran out of food that day. We completely ran out of food. There was a long line of people throughout the day who were coming through. And by the time we were finished, there was actually, when you run out of food, they also had little sacks where you could have at least a meal or 2. And so, we distributed all of those, and then we were done for the day. And it was time to move on and go back again another day. I just want to ask you, what are you doing to lift up the lowly? What are you doing to change the thinking in our own minds that are the biases that we were retrained with as we were growing up? What are we doing to live the royal law of love, to love our neighbors, we love ourselves? In what ways are we serving? And it may not be going with the foodmobile, though we have need for volunteers, and you can volunteer at cor.org/next. You can go there and volunteer for our Hunger Stoppers ministry. You can volunteer to be a part of the foodmobile. I think you'd be blessed if you did that. But what else? In what other ways are we intentionally thinking about how we are lifting up the lowly? How we're sending the hungry away blessed, how we're helping people at their point of need. It may not be food, it may be something else. What are we doing to show dignity, respect, love to other people? That's how God changes the world. He changes it by using us, by using you and by using me. We are his hands, we are his voice, and when we do that, we find what we were made for, and we practice pure religion, undefiled before God.